What is going on, everybody? So today we're actually going to be taking a look at my portfolio and how I've made over $100,000 in Pokemon. Now, a disclaimer, most of that is unrealized gains. As you can see here, $93,753 in profit. I've also made about $35,000 in profit if I include cash deals and other things that I've sold on eBay or Marketplace. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of my top holdings, and I just want to give a discussion about why I chose to buy some of these and maybe some mistakes I made along the way. So we can start off. Brilliant Stars is my largest position right now. This is based on total return, so not percentage return, which would definitely be a different list. But we'll start with this, Brilliant Stars. I still have 52 boxes of Brilliant Stars, which is like less than 9 cases, 8.5 cases approximately. And I'm sure a lot of people in the comments would say, hey, you bought Brilliant Stars, your buy cost was around MSRP, like that is a great investment, good job, you did well. I'm gonna say that I actually messed up by buying this much Brilliant Stars. I definitely should have bought a few less cases and bought a little bit more Fusion Strike and Lost Origin. At the time, nobody really knew which one was going to pop off out of nowhere. No one really expected Fusion Strike to be an 800 USD box, Lost Origin to be a $550 USD box. So I probably should have evenly spread these a little bit more because I thought these were all really great sets. And honestly, knowing what I know now at this point in my investing journey, just based off the top chases in those sets and based on the value of the cards that were inside of them, I probably should have just loaded up even more on Fusion Strike compared to either of those. But either way, we still have this many boxes of Brilliant Stars. It's whatever, I would like to move some of these eventually, and I am slowly moving them. I think I was up 55 at one point, now I'm down to 53. So box by box, we will get rid of some. I'm not super worried about offloading stuff anytime soon. Fusion Strike is going to be my second largest return, and I think I have 14 boxes still left of these. And the good thing is most of my boxes remaining are in fairly good condition. If you guys have been watching for a while, back in like December, January, I got rid of I think 7 or 8 boxes just to get a zero buy cost now on Fusion Strike. I have no money into my Fusion Strike boxes at this point, and I also got rid of all the ones that had damage to the wrap. And I got a fairly decent price for them at the time, obviously nowhere near what Fusion Strike boxes are worth now, but these are all long-term holds. If I want to sell a box or two on the way up, that's great. But again, I'm in no hurry now. I have a zero buy cost. They're good condition boxes, so I'm really happy that I at least have a couple cases of Fusion Strike left. Lost Origin, we have 3 cases left. This is my third largest return, and I'm about $300, I think, away Canadian from being at a zero buy cost. So essentially there on Lost Origin as well. If I sell one more box, I will be in the green and then have no money into the final 3 cases that I own. Lost Origin, great set. Again, I wish I bought more Lost Origin than I did, but it is what it is. I'm happy that I at least bought a lot of Sword and Shield. So I'm grateful to have those. Chilling Reign, 4th largest, and you can see a pattern, right? Like a lot of this, and I've said this in a lot of my videos, I got lucky on Sword and Shield. I pulled the trigger, I went in big, and I bought a lot of Sword and Shield boxes, but we will see a few things that aren't Sword and Shield era booster boxes on this list. Chilling Reign, though, 4th largest return so far. I have 22 boxes still, so I really haven't. I think I sold one of these, and then I also opened one originally when I got them because I thought they were resealed. The wraps were so bad, and honestly, they're fine, but the wraps on them are just god awful. They're horrible. You guys, if you've watched my shorts, you've seen these wraps before, and that's just kind of Chilling Reign, I guess. A lot of people had that issue. So again, I'm grateful that I have a few cases of Chilling Reign. Paldea Evolved, I have 24 boxes. This is the first SV era addition to this list, and honestly, it's probably the only one. Actually, Prismatic we'll talk about here in a second, but the only booster box. I bought most of these at $90 USD. I bought a case recently at, I think, 300 Canadian or something like that, 290 Canadian, it was around there, which roughly translates to like $200 USD, I believe. But for the most part, a lot of my cases, a lot of my boxes were around 90, 95 USD. And if you guys watched the second channel, the One Piece channel, I actually talked about Paldea and Obsidian on that channel last night. And I was kind of just getting into it because a lot of people really love Obsidian Flames. They say it's a great return. When you look at the annualized ROI of Paldea Evolved compared to Obsidian Flames, compared to Paradox Rift, compared to SV Base, all those earlier sets, Paldea Evolved objectively does way better than any of those. And in the video, I took January 1st, 2024 all the way up to present day, and Paldea Evolved's annualized ROI was 125%, 123%, something like that, whereas Obsidian Flames is still about 98%. So again, like, it's great to get exposure to everything, and this is kind of my point with Brilliant Stars. Like, sure, I've made great gains, that's awesome, but if I look at it objectively, I could have done a lot better by buying more Fusion Strike and Lost Origin. So the goal, I'd say, in investing is don't be results oriented. That's a really bad position to put yourselves in. And I know on YouTube, there's lots of YouTubers right now that love to brag about when they get things right, but they're really quiet about when they get things wrong. And it's not about being right or wrong. It's about having solid justification for the actions that you're taking. And at least for me at the time, buying Paldea Evolved, when I looked at it, I said, this set is way better than Obsidian Flames. It's way better than Paradox. It's better than Base. It has better cards, better chase. And because of all that, and especially considering they're about the same price, Paldea might have been a couple bucks more expensive at the time, but similar price, better cards. It made sense to buy this, and it has given me a larger return than I could have gotten on any other SVR set from the first 4 so far, at least. Now, next up, we have Crown Zenith booster bundles. I think I have 59 of these still. I had 60, sold one. Again, these are kind of things that I'll just slowly move at like the 110-ish range Canadian. Someone wants to buy them, great. I'd eventually like to get a zero cost basis on these as well. Basically, everything I like to get to a zero cost basis on eventually. But I'm in no hurry to offload these or do a bulk deal, anything like that. If they move at market, great. If not, I just hold on to them longer. So those will eventually go down over time, but great buy. Most of these I got from Walmart. I also bought a case from Hobbiesville, and I probably more than a case from Hobbiesville now I'm thinking about. Probably like 30 of them, 35 of them came from Hobbiesville, and the rest came from Walmart when we got restocks for MSRP up here last year. Another booster bundle on the list, Lost Origin. I bought these from Hobbiesville for about $34 Canadian. I think it was $33.64 or something like that, which is, I don't know, 26, 27 USD. That was late 2023, I think, early 2024. I bought Silver Tempest ones as well. And you can see now on the graph, these are about $83, $84. And I believe I still have about 43 of these remaining. I was up till 45, sold a couple of them. Again, like, I'll slowly move them at market, but I'm not in a rush to get rid of any of this stuff. Next up, Crown Zenith ETBs. And I almost made a video about Crown Zenith today because I really think that this box is just continuing to climb. A lot of other sets like 151, like Paldea and Fates, they've slowed down a little bit, but Crown Zenith is just continuing to move up slow and steady every single week. And the lowest you can find here, at least in Canada, is like $200 Canadian in ETB at this point. Even if you go on Facebook, at least in my region, maybe in Toronto or back east, in other parts, maybe Quebec or whatever, you could find these a little bit cheaper. But pretty much every Shopify store that you look at, $200 Canadian. Facebook Marketplace, at least for me, $200 Canadian. eBay, even higher than that because you have to pay your taxes. So I might buy another case of these. I'm really contemplating it. I have a pretty solid position, but I think it's going to do well long term. And even in the short term, I imagine these are going to be $200 by the end of the year. So I wouldn't be mad buying a little bit more of this. Next up, I have some Silver Tempest booster boxes. I think I have 9 still, whatever's in here. Yeah, I have 9 of these boxes. I bought a case on eBay. I sniped an auction like early last year, I think, like March, April, something like that. Got a pretty decent price on them. And then I bought a few more boxes from the Pokemon Center and Hobbiesville over time. I'm pretty happy with the amount I have. I don't think it's as good of a set as any of these top ones like Brilliant Stars, Fusion, Lost, or Chilling. So I definitely don't want to have as much exposure to Silver Tempest. So it's in a decent spot. And again, like, I'll probably move 3 or 4 of these at some point in the future. Ideally, probably 3, and then just keep a case once I can get to a zero cost basis on those 3 boxes, which, based on what I bought them for, which was around 180-ish Canadian, I think, after tax, I think it's going to be possible probably this year, if not next year. And then the final thing I want to talk about of the top 10 holdings that I have, Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. I have 51 of these currently. I imagine at the end of the year, I'm going to have a lot more of these. We're down to around $110 on TCG Player, and lots of sales in this 99, 100, 102, 103 range as well. So keep an eye on Prismatic. If it keeps dipping, I'm going to be buying more. That's my plan. And I'm not super worried about it either because most of my ETBs, the vast majority of them, I got from Walmart at MSRP. So I'm still already up on these, as you can see based on the graph here. And there's lots of other things we could look at, but those are my largest positions. I really don't have massive Scarlet and Violet era booster box positions at this point. For the longest time, it just made sense to buy Sword and Shield. And if you look at annualized ROI over the past 18 to 24 months, Sword and Shield has been absolutely crushing most of Scarlet and Violet outside of maybe like Surging Sparks if you could pre-order early and Paldea Evolved. I will say I'm grateful. I got 38 151 booster bundles. I managed to get all of those from Walmart at MSRP. Really lucky there over the past few months that I've been able to pick those up. Again, shout out to PokeNotify. They reached out to me. I was one of the first people to work with them back in like December, January, and just being able to use their service. Like I really do credit them for being able to get all of my Prismatic and 151. And these are sets that are just going to be great long term. I mean, 151 is amazing. Everybody wants it. I will say, if you are thinking about getting booster bundles, like we're getting close to a 2-year age on some of these earlier SV era sets, including 151. So it's not going to be in print forever, guys. Like that is just the reality. We might see 151 get printed throughout 2025, and that's great. But going into 2026, expecting more 151, that might be a pipe dream at that point. And then we're going to see booster bundles. We're going to see Blooming Waters. We're going to see the ETBs. Everything's just going to continue to fly at that point. And the final thing I wanted to talk about in this video is I was looking on eBay trying to figure out how I could track some of these older like black and white era and even earlier eras, some of the booster boxes and sales on eBay, maybe to put it in the spreadsheet, maybe to do a monthly video, whatever. And it's very difficult just because a lot of these boxes don't actually sell that much. For example, maybe once a month, like Plasma Blast sold here March 8th for $4,000, and then it sold May 7th for $4,500 USD. Black and white, this is Noble Victories. This sold for $4,800. But a lot of these boxes, what is this? I can't even read that. Boundaries crossed. Like once or twice every 90 days, most of these boxes are selling. They are selling in that 4,000 to 5,000 range, which is impressive. But I'm not really sure what I should do if I want to track this. So if you guys have any recommendations, please leave a comment down below. And I do just want to say, I didn't make this video to brag because I know there are lots of people out there that have way larger positions than me, that are way more successful. Like honestly, this is just a vanity metric. It's not even realized gains at this point. Most of it isn't. I still have made around $35,000, $40,000, whatever it is, from selling product already, which is like locked in gains. But most of this is unrealized gains at this point, which again, that's nothing to flex over. I just want to show you guys how you can actually go from zero to making profit to investing properly in Pokemon. It definitely does not happen overnight. And even though you can make really good gains, you should always be trying to improve and don't be results oriented because that can be a very dangerous situation to put yourself in. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you are shopping eBay, TCG Player, Hobbiesville, Cardboard Hero, I have affiliate links down below. They're free and easy to use, and it continues to support me making these free videos for you guys. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.